This week's AEW Dynamite was a packed episode featuring as many as two major title matches. First, newly crowned TNT champion Scorpio Sky was in danger of losing his title against Wardle, the winner of the Face of Revolution match, and Britt Baker took on Thunder Rosa in a highly anticipated steel cage match. As well as that, the Hardys were wrestling for the first time in AEW, so big show. Let's go straight into it with Adam Cole and Redragon versus Hangman Page and Jurassic Express. Cole and Jungle Boy started things off with the former showing a lot of aggressiveness. The Panama City Playboy soon tagged in Bobby Fish, while Jungle Boy tagged in Luchasaurus, who quickly cleared the ring. The action spilled to the outside where Cole, Fish and O'Reilly isolated the mask bar. The crowd rallied behind Luchasaurus, who finally found an opening in the match by hitting a clothesline on Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. He tagged in Hangman Page. The AEW champion single-handedly wiped out the opposition, with Jungle Boy capitalising by taking down the three with a suicide dive. In a stunning spot, Page, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus took to the top rope at the same time and delivered a triple moonsault. During the commercial break, Adam Cole and Redragon isolated Jungle Boy. As we return to live action, Luchasaurus found his way into the match, laying down with Fish and O'Reilly. Jungle Boy attempted a Doomsday Device from the top rope, but he ate an unexpected super kick from Cole. Hangman Page and Adam Cole exchanged some brutal strikes in the ring, and the match soon became chaotic, with every performer getting involved. In another great spot, Jungle Boy executed a Doomsday Device on Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, but Bobby broke up the pin. In the end, Adam Cole took advantage of a distracted Jungle Boy and hit Boom with an exposed knee for the win on Dynamite. And yeah, this was a really brilliant match to kick off the show. Definitely gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Love this. Backstage, FTW champion Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs boasted about taking down Keith Lee on Rampage and warned him not to show on this week's episode. However, Limitless One was in no way to play around and said he wouldn't take any notice of their warnings before he got Moxley Danielson versus Taylor and Yuta. As soon as the match began, Moxley took Taylor out on the outside while Danielson attacked Yuta inside the ring. The American Dragon and Moxley exchanged some quick tags and brutalised Yuta. The Best Friends finally found an opening in the match, hitting a drop kick on Danielson, after which he tagged Chuck Taylor. However, Taylor struggled to maintain the momentum as Danielson and Mox wore him down systematically. Moxley and Taylor long went to the top rope, where the former hit a picture-perfect avalanche brainbuster. After the match, Taylor finally tagged in Wheeler Yuta, who unleashed a series of quick moves on Moxley. However, the former AEW champ took him down with an RKS move. Mox then went outside where he hit Paradigm Shift on Chuck Taylor. Back in the ring, Danielson hit a very lengthy series of kicks on Wheeler Yuta, but the latter violently fought him off. However, the Best Friends finally went down after Moxley locked in the Bulldog choke, and after the match, William Regal, who was on commentary during the contest, entered the ring. Outside, his Best Friends walked back to the locker room. Wheeler Yuta turned around and walked into the ring. He offered a handshake to Regal, who slapped him in retaliation and asked him to leave. Yeah, definitely a really interesting thing. He kind of had me, but they didn't have me. But yeah, this was really good stuff, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Backstage, FTR spoke about firing Tully Blanchard. They were soon interrupted by the Young Bucks, who said Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler would always remain the second best tag team in AEW. Bret Hart, wink wink, I'd love to see that. In another backstage segment, Starks and Hobbs interrupted the backstage program by the Acclaimed. Starks urged the Anthony Bennett to defeat Keith Lee on Rampage. However, Shane Strickland showed up, seemingly hinting at a match with Starks. Give me that'd be great. Before Matt Lee and Jeff Parker put Jericho over, praising him. The first ever world champion boasted about his story career and even taking credit for AEW's existence. The champion called out fans insulting him on social media for not appreciating him enough. Jericho added that even the AEW locker room and the inner circle didn't appreciate him. The demigod stated that he was more successful than others in Tony Khan's promotion because he was a sports entertainer and not a pro wrestler. The former WWE champion then recalled helping Daniel Garcia back in 2019, which is why he's now joined forces with him. Jericho then added that he helped Matt Lee and Jeff Parker by having him on Talk as Jericho after the WWE release, which resulted in AEW signing them. In closing, Jericho Appreciation Society vowed to break down all wrestlers in AEW. Still not fully sold and stable, to be honest, but definitely an interesting start, and yeah, I'm going to see where it goes. Scorpio Sky versus Wardle was next up, and Wardle was dominating Sky early on thanks to his advantage physically. The action spilled to the outside where Paige Van Zandt and her husband Austin Vandervoort confronted Mr. Mayhem. Sky capitalised and finally found an opening. Back in the ring, Sky was in the driver's seat, slowly wearing down his first challenger. After gaining an opening, Wardle executed a German suplex on Sky, and followed it with a chokeslam. Next, Mr. Mayhem hit as many as 3 powerbombs on Sky as Wardle was about to pin him. Dan Lambert distracted the referee, allowing Sky to go to the outside. Sean Spears and MJF then interfered, with the latter pushing Wardle into the steel ring post. This allows Scorpio Sky to roll him up. Post-match, Vanderfall began attacking Wardle. Spears and MJF joined in too. Wardle retaliated to no avail. The Soul of the Earth then made a payment to Lambert, revealing that they had been working together all this time. MJF then took down Wardle with his Dynamite Diamond ring. And yeah, this is only the beginning of the feud, but I can't wait to see how it goes. 7 out of 10, good stuff. So the Hardy Boys took on Private Party. Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn began things in this match on Dynamite with a former WWE star in control. Moments later he tagged in Jeff, with the duo hitting some throwback tag team moves on Quinn. The San Antonio crowd widely cheered for the charismatic Enigma as he continued to brutalise his opponents. Mark Quinn finally found an opening in the match, attacking Matt Hardy, after which he tagged in his tag team partner. Private Party took advantage of a distracted referee and used the ring post to attack Matt on Dynamite as he went for a break. Back in the ring, Matt Hardy fought off Cassidy on the outside, but Quinn took him down with a dive. Back in the ring, Private Party continued to isolate the former leader of the Hardy family office. As Jeff looked on, the crowd rallied behind the Hardys, calling for Jeff to be tagged in. Matt Hardy finally made his way into the match, hitting a side effect on Cassidy, and quickly tagged in Jeff. The former WWE champ quickly went after him, hitting a Sunton Bomb on Cassidy, but Quinn distracted him. However, Matt took care of Quinn, allowing Jeff to hit a splash for a 2 count. Moments later, Jeff and Matt hit a dual twist of fate as the former went to the top rope and hit a Swanton Bomb on Cassidy for the win on Dynamite. And yeah, post-match, Andrade Alilo came out with his Andrade family office stablemate and surrounded the ring. Just then, Alan and Sting ran into the ring to even the odds. The segment on Dynamite ended with both sides staring at each other. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really, really good stuff. Just great to see the Hardy Boys reunited, really. I'm kind of intrigued to see where the storyline goes to. Next up was Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa in a cage match for the Women's World title. It began with the champion quickly trying to escape the structure, but Rosa set her and was firmly in control of the match, steadily wearing down her opponent. Rosa then dragged Baker's face across the cage and unleashed multiple punches on her. Baker then began bleeding at this point when Thunder Rosa ramming the former's face in a steel cage. The referee checked on Baker, who was bleeding profusely from her head. During a commercial break, the women's champion gained control as the crowd was cheering for Thunder. Back to the live broadcast, Britt Baker pulled out multiple chairs from underneath the ring. She picked one of them to attack Rosa, but the Rosa began to take her away from the champion. Thunder Rosa then hit a double knee strike and a drop kick to find her way back into the match, and the women's champion accidentally hit the ref, after which Rosa hits the Fire Thunder driver, but there was no referee count. Both performers went to the top rope, from where Baker executed an avalanche backbreaker on Rosa onto a pile of steel chairs. New referee entered the fray, but Rosa kicked out. Baker and Rosa then went to the top rope. However, this time Rosa rammed Baker's face into the cage, leading to the latter falling onto the chairs. Kept in a corner. Moments later, the Doctor brought out thumbtacks and spread them across the ring. She delivered a back body driver to Rosa on the thumbtacks, and after which she tried to lock in a lockjaw. However, Thunder Rosa wisely smashed Baker's hand on the thumbtacks and followed it up by hitting a powerbomb on the Doctor. Finally, Rosa took down Baker and is the new Women's World Champion. So deserved. And yeah, personally, I was a massive fan of Baker retaining at Revolution, but for this, it was definitely worth it. A brilliant payoff. 8 out of 10 from me. Just excellent stuff. Overall this week, Dynamite gets 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, really solid Dynamite this week. Loved it from start to finish, really. Especially the main event. That was just brilliant. And Thunder Rosa so diverting, as I said. So yeah, great stuff. And yeah, just kind of slowly building towards all of the next feuds. And I think they're doing a decent job of that so far. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Remember your thoughts, comments down below. Follow us to the description for daily wrestling news. And subscribe to the channel and screen right now. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.